Hi, I'm honored today to sit down and have a discussion with Jill Coon from Jill Coon Inc. Hi, Jill.
Hi, how are
Thanks
you?
for visiting the wonderful town of Las Vegas. And I wanted to ask you in general, what does Jill Coon Inc. do for dentists?
We are a dental virtual office manager company, and basically what we do is we bill insurances, both medical and dental insurance claims for the dental practices. We follow up on outstanding insurance. We work on recalls, both whether it's for hygiene appointments or for outstanding treatment plans. We work on accounts receivables. We basically do any admin work that is needed up front. The busy work, we take the busy work away from the front desk.
So virtual means you're not really there.
Correct.
Where are you?
We log in remotely from a certain location.
Okay, so it's like having an employee there, but they're already trained, they already have years of experience, they already have the expertise, they already do it right, and they're not there.
Correct. The only thing that I don't do is I don't answer phones for the practices, but all the other busy work, like even the accounts receivables, the collections, the recalls, like I said,
Right.
all of that stuff, we're always working on stuff behind the scenes.
Okay.
We verify the dental insurance, we give a complete breakdown of benefits, we can estimate co-payments for the patient.
Okay.
We can even make deposits, if they're still receiving paper checks.
Okay.
And we can post their insurance payments.
Wow.
For them.
Okay. Well, you pretty much want the person at the front desk to answer the phones. They're the ones that have the one-on-one direct relationship with most of your dentist's existing patients anyway.
Exactly.
So the idea is take away you said it best, the busy work, so that the person that you do have at your front desk can do more of the one-on-one personal relationship and develop that quicker, faster, more effectively, which ends up being more productive for the practice. Not only from a cost standpoint, it must be beneficial to hire your firm, but from a revenue standpoint, because the more you service your patients, come on, let's face it, the more you service your patients, the more they are wowed by your practice, the more they're going to trust you, the more their treatment plan they're going to complete, the more people they're going to refer. As long as that experience is, top notch, you're going to improve the top line, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But what I like too is because if you have like a 3-operatory practice with one front desk person, what happens is that front desk person is answering phones, checking on insurance, and verifying eligibility. And it takes about 10 minutes per patient to check on that insurance. Well, the phone's ringing. A patient just walked in. So you're getting distracted.
Right.
And you really can't do everything. So something is going to fall by the wayside or something's going to slack. So that phone may not be answered by the second ring.
Right.
Like we would like it to be.
Well, as a marketing firm, we would like it to be. Or,
correct.
Or just to answer it, Well, that's awesome. How's your company grown over the years? How long have you had the company?
A little over 2 years.
Okay.
And we've actually doubled in size every year. We've been doubling in size.
Excellent.
And we have a team of 6 employees right now. Okay. Working full time.
Right.
And we also have a couple of part-time employees. And we do work, believe it or not, for other virtual assistants across the country.
Oh, okay. So, wow. And the doctors, your clients, what do most of them say? In other words, do they see immediate impact?
Within the first 30 days, yes, they do.
Yeah, it has to take 30 days because a lot of it's probably cleaning up, right? Yeah,
correct.
yeah. Cleaning up because right. So if you're submitting old claims, and I was yesterday at dinner, we were chatting, and you mentioned to me something about getting claims paid from 2011, that were missed, and it's past the middle of 2014, right? And, because dental offices have turnover, and they go and hire a new person who may or may not know what they're doing. And they come in and forget claims from 2011, and the doctor never knows. And then, so the first 30 days, I have to imagine, is a lot of cleanup from,
Oh, it is. And usually
Yeah.
when I first get my clients, when they first come in, what happens is the first 3 months, it takes a little bit of time to clean up everything and get it to flow smoothly. But the nice part is once it does flow smoothly, I'm not working as many hours for that specific client.
Right.
And it ends up being less expensive than having a full-time employee in the office.
There you go.
And we're an adjunct to the practice. So we actually help that front desk person. We're not there to replace someone.
Right.
However, if someone's on maternity leave or they need help or if somebody's out sick, we can substitute and do things.
Right.
But as I said, we don't answer phones, so you might need someone else to answer the phones.
Right.
But we can do everything else behind the scenes. We can get your treatment plans entered. We can get your treatment plan ready to go. We can figure out the copays for you.
Right.
And then you can present it to your patients. But practices love that.
Right.
They love having somebody accountable that understands what's going on.
Right. It's so hard to keep up with all the insurances and all the different plans under the same name, and if this and if that. And when you have someone in a client practice who's brand new to dentistry, a staff person, will you go in and train them, or do you just do virtual office assisting?
That's a good question. We do both.
You do
We do both. We can do online virtual training, or we can actually go into the office, depending on
on
what they want.
So you can train online?
Yeah.
Or in the office?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And we have a team of coaches that will go out to the offices and teach them phone technique, teach them,
Okay. Good.
certain things about front desk that they should know, or hold them accountable, teach them how to use the software. Because some doctors don't have technical support with their softwares.
Right.
So they don't really know the ins and outs. We can go in and train them for less money than what the software company will charge them for that specific amount of time.
Is there anything you don't do in the back other than answer the phones?
No,
Really? Because to me, it sounds like if I owned a dental practice, and I know there's a million little details that happen that get created every day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you take insurance, or even if you don't.
Yeah.
Even if you don't take insurance, there's still a million details that are created every day. Somebody's overdue on recare right now in the last 5 minutes.
Correct.
In everybody's practice that's watching this video.
Correct.
Okay, that's a detail. Right? Yeah. There's a claim that an insurance claim that just went from 30 to 31 days old right now.
Correct.
Right. So I would imagine, being the owner of a practice, I'd want to make darn sure that somebody's in the back that has that has me first and foremost watching all those little details and making sure that they're being processed right. Because really, if they're not processed right, you also run the risk of damaging a patient relationship. I mean, especially with insurance. What happens if you estimate it wrong? Right?
And that happens a lot.
That happens a lot with people who aren't trained properly, or people who don't know what they're doing, right? Yeah, I would imagine that's...
But you know what I get asked a lot about with insurance, is especially for the doctors that are out of network and don't accept insurances, or if they accept assignment from insurances, they don't know how to estimate what the patient portion is. They'll kind of say, oh, it's 80% or 50% for this crown or that kind of thing.
Right.
But they really don't know if they're within usual and customary. They don't know if that insurance company, what their usual and customary amount is allowed at.
Right.
And what we do is we'll take your fee schedule. We'll go through the whole entire fee schedule, and as we're checking on the insurance, we'll find out a couple of codes, the major codes that you use, and we'll find out if we're within the usual and customary. And if we're not, let's say that you might charge $1,500 for a crown, but the usual and customary for your area is $1,420.
Right.
So they're going to pay 50% of the $1,420, so the patient would be responsible for the difference up to that, the other dollar amount. But the problem with that is most offices don't know that, so what happens is that they end up having a high accounts receivable because now they have to balance bill the patient for the extra $100.
Not to mention they have a customer, a patient, who wasn't anticipating the extra $80.
Correct.
Right. And that's, You never want to do that. You know, it's a lot better to say, Mrs. Jones, your balance is going to be $80 after this procedure than it is to say they're going to cover 50%.
Correct.
Okay, because, you know, you could damage a perfectly good patient relationship just with $80. You know,
but I have my client that turn around and tell me, well, it's the patient's responsibility to know their insurance. Well, yes, it is, but we're facilitators. We like to educate.
Right.
We like to try to, patients come to you on purpose because they want you to help them.
Right.
We're caretakers. If we're caretakers, we should know about their policy. It doesn't mean that we have to educate them about every specific thing. And then when we're presenting a treatment plan to the patient, we're not saying, okay, well, your insurance is going to cover $50 here and your out-of-pocket is $100 here.
Right.
We're saying the total case fee is this and your out-of-pocket is this.
Right.
Done.
Right. And then there's a far fewer surprises.
Correct.
On the patient side.
Correct.
And you don't want to surprise a patient. Not with a new bill. Right.
No.
Well, that is awesome. I mean, I've been in dentistry for 25 years. And I guess technology has helped, you know, connecting to the office. We didn't have anything called virtual.
No.
You know, it wasn't virtual anything. You know, virtual was getting in your car and driving somewhere, you know. That is very, very interesting in my view of dentistry, much needed. I can't imagine that hiring an expert for less than the cost of a new employee is not going to be beneficial to almost every dentist. And I know from my practice management background that those little dust bunnies of details pile up quick
Big time.
in a dental office. And my knowledge of dentists tells me that most of them really want to make sure, they don't need to do it themselves. They just want to make sure somebody's doing it right and doing it right.
Exactly. But we do audit trails too. So when we're going through all the reports that we're looking at, we run these audit trails to see, so we can actually track to see if somebody is stealing.
Okay.
We can also track to see what they've done, if they've made changes to the ledger.
Right.
It's very important to follow up with that because, you know, most doctors think they can trust somebody
Right.
at the desk. Oh, they have Susie who's been with them for 20 years.
Right.
Well, Susie who's been with them for 20 years, how do you know Susie's not stealing?
Well, she should have been in jail for 5 of those 20. Right. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, right? And it's certainly, I'm not going to say it's prevalent, but it's certainly more than possible. Right. Because you and I have both seen it in our years.
I did have somebody just recently, and it was very interesting. And then I had to go in and lock the privileges and then get the doctor involved, get the police involved.
Right.
And it was interesting to see what happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if you would like to have a great firm watching all your dust bunnies of details and watching your back with your, you know, with your benefit at mind, I would encourage you to give, you know, Jill a call. Now, how do people get in touch with you?
My website is jillcooninc.com, and my number is 561-319-4743.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you.